this cover sucks. Couldn't come up with anything better. Their definition of rock and roll is clearly not my definition. I kind of regret subscribing to this magazine. Were you scrolling on your social media maybe a few months ago, maybe today, and you saw some ads for the new relaunching of the Creem magazine? Have you guys been seeing that on your feeds? I clicked on it. And I subscribed for a year's worth. So I got the March issue, which is right here. Now, I grew up in the 90s. I grew up reading magazines like Metal Hammer, Hit Parader, Metal Edge, and I also read Decibel magazine, Revolver, and then I kind of dropped off. I didn't really subscribe to it anymore. With Instagram and YouTube, things like that, you can pretty much find out anything you need to find out about bands. But I still like the magazines. I still like to find out about bands and albums coming out and interviews through physical print. I never grew up with Creem magazine. It's got this reputation, and it's got, it's somewhat legendary from the late 60s into the 70s and 80s, and it went out of print. So newly relaunched, and they were claiming that this was going to be, the be-all, end-all, and the coolest thing on earth. But I don't like it so much. But you should stick around, because I'm going to go through what's inside. What do I like about it? They promote popular bands, but also bands that aren't so popular. There are some cool pictures. There are some, pretty cool pictures in here. I'm a fan of that, like this. And let me quickly go over the articles that I did like. This one right here. It's got nothing to do with a rock band, except for what many rock bands like to do, which is drink and have drinks and get drunk. So this is a recipe for a true New Orleans hurricane. I might need to try this. So what I like about magazines is they have sections like this where you can see what new albums are coming out or have come out recently. It's pretty cool. I'm a fan of Windhand, so I was like, I like that. This is an article about a band from the 70s that apparently has released only one song. I checked them out on Spotify. They are called Egor. And it is hard rock, rough around the edges hard rock. I gave it a listen. Maybe I should listen to it again. But this was pretty cool because they literally just dug up this one tape and, well, they didn't dig it up, but they did some research, and apparently there's only one tape of this band. So it was pretty cool. It's got some old pictures. There's an article on Metallica. By the way, I still have yet to listen to the new Metallica album. I listened to 2 songs. It sounds really good. So I should definitely buy that one and give it a shot. So this guy, he signed them from Megaforce Records. He signed them to Elektra Records. So he was an A&R guy who made that happen for them. And he was a pretty young guy, So that's a pretty cool story. What else do we got here? Let's see. This one about the Smashing Pumpkins was pretty good. I'm not the biggest Smashing Pumpkins fan. It's an interview with Billy Corgan. There's a funny picture right here. So it's Billy Corgan, Courtney Love, and James Hetfield. And it says here, the little caption says, James Hetfield with 2 of his closest friends. Also pictured Billy Corgan and Courtney Love. 2 of his closest friends, the Heinekens. I thought that was pretty funny. This is an article about album covers that are pretty messed up, containing dead people, things like that. Just violence, all around. Not that I'm super into that or anything like that, but I just thought it was an interesting article. This is the cover of Mayhem, one of the I think it's unofficial bootlegs, whatever. Dawn of the Black Hearts. I don't know if it's an official Mayhem release. This one's a pretty cool article. This one's about Tom Waits. I don't know anything about Tom Waits, but this article rips pretty hard on Tom Waits and his fans. It was a funny one to read. I actually laughed while reading this one. Talks about his career, his music. So this one was probably the best article here because it was funny, it was snarky, it was pretty entertaining. So I don't even know Tom Watts. The rest of the stuff was just okay. Nothing really to write home about. Hey guys, so if you like this video so far, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, helps me out. I would really appreciate it. Also, hit the notification bell so that you can get videos as soon as I publish them. Thank you. What do I not like about it? Most of the bands covered. in here. I think they're trying to appeal to fans that are in their early teens to early 30s who like stuff like indie rock, new metal, experimental stuff, as well as some older stuff. But mostly, I think they're just trying to appeal to the younger generation. A mishmash of new metal with 90s rock and indie rock, mostly, and indie punk. Really, that's what they are trying to cover here. Their definition of rock and roll is clearly not my definition. My type of rock and roll is stuff from the 70s, even late 60s to 70s, hard rock, the heavy metal of the 80s, even stuff from the 90s. But like, I don't know, man. Nothing. Most of the bands in here did not appeal to me at all. I listened to them on Spotify, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" For example, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody because, like, you know what? Maybe this is what you like. So, yeah, to each their own. But musically, no, not for me. So, for example, Kathy Kirby. Never heard of her. Checked her out on Spotify. From what I can remember, it was stuff like indie rock. Not my cup of tea. This band called Gauche they look pretty cool. They have a cool marketing. They look. This guy looks pretty crazy over here. And they're all about like putting on a show, dressing up. This band on Spotify is a mix of electronica noise with some new metal. It's pretty interesting stuff, actually. This is one of the bands that doesn't have the biggest following on Spotify. I think they have like maybe 2,000 or 1,500 followers. So it's pretty cool that Creem magazine would feature them. But is it something that I would like? No. A band called Soul Blind. I was like, oh, this might be looks promising. No, it's like indie rock stuff. Way's Blood. Into the Darkness with Way's Blood. Apparently, I think she's like she has like a lot of followers, a lot of listeners on Spotify. Good stuff. But once again, I would not I wouldn't want this in a magazine that claims to be rock and roll. Oh, okay. Apparently clowns are the thing right now. So this band, I don't even know what band this is, but they're all about like clowns and dressing up like clowns. And that's cool. I understand that a lot of people like that and find it's cool, it's sexy, it's exciting. It's just about like these guys who are into dressing up like clowns and stuff like that. I'm not about dressing up like clowns. Oh yeah, and more indie rock. Just indie rock galore. Well, here's a band that was pretty cool. Poison Ruin. It's pretty cool. Check these guys out. They're like kind of punky, but like indie punky, but also somewhat dark sounding. Check these guys out. Maybe it's something you guys like. I mean, I heard them. I was like, okay, this is pretty okay. This is a band called Namdi. You get the point. So this is, for me, doesn't cut it for rock and roll. Not saying it's bad. It's just not what I'm about, not what I call rock and roll. I kind of regret subscribing to this magazine. Oh, and one more thing. This cover sucks. I don't know what this is about, but it's like it's. I don't know. Couldn't come up with anything better. I am way more into other magazines like Classic Rock Magazine. You see, this for me is what true rock and roll is. You can find this in your bookstore. I found this in the Barnes & Noble next to me. So that's what I enjoy. And I will be doing a review on this one as well. Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin. Yeah, totally better, way cooler. Long live rock and roll. Let me know what you guys think. Hope I provided some information on the Creem magazine. Maybe I made you want to subscribe to it, which is cool too. So if that's what you're about, let me know in the comments. If you are like me and you think, what the hell is this? Also, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate all of you. I love hearing from you guys. Keep it up. Keep them coming. Thank you. Peace. I'm out.